Welcome to another episode of Relationships Ain't Easy. So today we're going to continue with our series on how to create a strong first impression. So I got some good things for you today, all right? So today we're talking about how clothes impact people's perception of you, okay? What you wear matters, and that's what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to give you some tips on how you can improve how you dress yourself, okay? I've been doing this thing in this series where I take one topic and I spread it over 2 episodes, and I split it between focusing on the women and the men. So I think I'm going to keep doing that because I kind of like that. It allows me to kind of focus in, and help each group. So first impressions. So if you haven't watched the other series, the other videos in this series, then I encourage you to do that. But if you haven't, let me give you a quick recap of, when we say first impressions, like what are we talking about? Why is it important? Okay. So this is for people in the dating world. You want a husband, you want a wife, you're looking for it, and you've just been having a lot of trouble. Things aren't working out. If you're a guy, you get rejected all the time. No one's answering your DMs. If you're a lady out there, maybe there's no one in your DMs and no one's, talking to you. Maybe you get on the first date every now and then, but it's never a second date. And maybe you're getting tired of being ghosted. All right. So I'm going to help you out. First impressions are important because, like I said before, first impressions really dictate people's perception of you. There's a saying that perception is reality. Well, if people think that you are a certain way, they're going to act like it. They're going to act like you are that way. So if you look like, in this case, we're talking about clothes. If you look like a bum, they're going to treat you like a bum. Okay. So in dating and in life, what you don't know that you don't know can hurt you. Okay. And so I like to say you're not ugly, you're just ignorant. And not ignorant meaning you're stupid, but ignorant meaning which is the actual definition, you lack information about a specific thing and a specific topic. Let me say it again. You lack a specific information on a specific topic, meaning you could be the world's most renowned heart surgeon, but you may not know anything about physics. Okay. It doesn't mean you're stupid. You're just ignorant of physics. Okay. So there's things that you don't know that are hurting you with your dating. A lot of it is first impressions. And when I'm talking about first impressions, it is not trying to, game the system, not trying to fool people, trick them into thinking you're something that you're not. It's actually creating habits that make you the best version of yourself that you can be. So you're actually creating these habits so you will actually be this person, something you have to develop. It takes time. But then, for instance, let's say you're out, grocery shopping, or you're out someplace and you see a friend unexpectedly and they have someone else with them and they introduce you to that person. That person is a potential person you could date. Like if you are, practicing these first impressions, like actually creating these habits, you'll be looking good. Everything, your hair, face, everything will be on point. You can make a strong first impression, and that can help get you that first date. So a lot of times just what people perceive about you, their first impressions can dictate if you're going to have a first date or not, or let's say you're going to blind date, if you're going to have a second date or not, right? Whether it's on an app, even your picture is your first impression, or whatever. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying first impressions. Okay. So, and I want you to understand something and why I'm talking about clothes. Okay. How you dress, like you can actually change your confidence when you're dressed well, right? And not just you think, well, I guess actually technically there are people, and you've seen them, who they have a lot of confidence off of what they're wearing, even though they shouldn't. But if you take my advice, it won't just be you that thinks that you look nice, that you're dressed well, okay? So I just want you to know that this is not just me, okay? So I want to read you this study, okay? Listen to the study. It's not just me. Let me explain this to you, okay? So a group of researchers at Augusta College, and you can look it up. One of the professors was E.D. Edmonds. They wanted to answer this question: do people perceive people differently based on how attractive their clothes are? Okay, that's what they were trying to figure out. Basically, what we're talking about. And if they had listened to this podcast, they would have said they would have went and studied. Can you make a strong first impression stronger by how you dress? Is what they would have said. So I'm gonna give you a brief summary of what they did, how they did it. So first of all, they had a different study to figure out what was considered attractive and unattractive clothes. And so they found, X amount of outfits, and they figured out, okay, well, these are attractive, these are unattractive based off of, what a lot of people said about the clothes. Then they got some models. They got some female models, and then those female models had to, they took different pictures wearing, all those different outfits. So it makes the same model, same hairstyle, everything else. So the only thing that was really changing was the clothes that they were wearing. Then what they did is they didn't go right out and just say, okay, who's more attractive, and they were just showing these images. But they made them think that these people were responding to something that they were saying, and all they could see was the picture of the person and maybe the text of what they were saying. Then what they figured out was the following. So the models dressed in attractive clothing. They were perceived to be more competent. They were viewed as more likely to be comfortable to work with, and they were perceived to be more sociable. So I'm going to say that one more time. In this study, the women dressed in attractive clothing were perceived to be more competent, were viewed as more likely to be comfortable to work with, and were perceived to be more sociable. So I just want to break this down real quick, okay? So just because of what they were wearing, people thought they were smarter. Just because of what they were wearing, people said, I want to work with that person. And just because of what they were wearing, they thought they were more sociable, or I guess you could say likable. They want to spend time with them. So if you apply this to dating, you're more competent. Obviously, someone is intelligent. It's usually something that's attractive. People don't normally get more attracted to dumb people, or I guess unintelligent. We'll say it nicely. They were viewed more likely to be comfortable to work with. So, in a dating situation, this could be someone that you're more likely to want to date, or you're more likely to want to spend time with. Same thing with being more sociable. Like, they're probably going to take you as someone who is more likely to be fun, or they have fun with. Okay. So again, this study, it's not just me. Okay. It's some scientists, some psychologists have gone through and they've tested this. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do I apply this, right, into my strong first impressions? How do I apply how I dress? Well, I want you to know a few things. Changing the way you dress can make you feel like you look good, and that'll build your confidence. And confidence is a lot, okay? Confidence can change your whole demeanor. Confidence will help you have, the right amount of eye contact. Confidence can make you feel more comfortable to tell jokes. You seem more funny. Confidence can do a lot. And confidence really is just psychological. So a lot of times you can just increase how confident you feel just by knowing that you look good in the outfit that you pick, right? So that's one aspect. But then the other aspect is that you are actually more attractive when you know how to pick out the outfits correctly. All right. Another thing to know, because this is for the ladies today, women. So the Bible says, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing, or he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Right. So the key word is find. Okay. So men you want to be found. All right. And you want to make it as easy as possible for us to be found. Now, sometimes men have trouble finding things, okay? Ask your mom, okay? Ask her about, your dad, or if you have brothers. And anytime your mom asks them, to either go to the grocery store to get something or go look in the refrigerator to get something, ask your mom how hard it is for them to find stuff, okay? So that's just how we are. So you got to help us out, ladies, okay? So you want to make sure you can be found. Knowing how to dress correctly and dressing right will help you stand out and help you be found. Okay. Make it as easy as possible for us. All right. So let me give you an example. Like when you go to the grocery store, you want to make sure you look nice, right? Grocery store, shopping, gym, coffee shop, church, whatever. You want to look like you're single. So take time to pick out an outfit. So let me give you a case in point. I'm going to describe a woman and how she's dressed, all right? So a woman comes, let's say, the grocery store, whatever. I would say in the coffee shop. Well, this would be crazy in the coffee shop, I think. But the grocery store, this happens more often. So we'll just stick with the grocery store because that's just kind of like an everyday thing. So the grocery store, a lady comes in. She has rollers in her hair. She's got, this baggy kind of old shirt. Doesn't really fit or anything at all. She's got these loose pajamas and she's got like flip-flops or house slippers, right? Now, I tell you right now, that is not the lady that's going to get found. She's going to be noticed, but not found, okay? Now, if I see that lady at the grocery store, but then I see 3 little kids running around her, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? That's all right. She's a mom, probably stay-at-home mom, whatever. And I just applaud her as someone who has kids himself. I applaud her for just being able to get out the grocery store by herself with those three little kids, okay? That's understandable. And she's probably a little older. It's all right. But guess what? She's also married, okay? So she has an excuse because kids can quickly drive you crazy and you don't have a lot of time. And she's already married. But here's the thing. If you as a single woman dress the same way as a married woman with kids who's just hoping to God that they'll go to sleep so she can have some time to herself. First of all, I want you to know I feel you. I applaud you for just making it to the grocery store. But if you dress like that as a single woman, well, guess what? You are communicating something. So here's another thing. The way you dress communicates something to people, okay? So if you dress like that, you're communicating to people, and guys' minds are thinking either she doesn't want to be found, right? Like maybe she already has a boyfriend. Maybe, maybe she is a single, no, not a single mom, but maybe she is a mom and she just was able to leave the kids at home with dad and she was able to come to the store. But either way, they're not thinking of you as, oh, this is someone I want to approach and talk to, okay? So you want to be found. Dress like you want to be found. Now, you don't need to wear some, ball gown or something like that every time you go out. But, find a good balance. Just look nice. Look like, you put some time and effort into it. You don't have to look your 100% best every single time, okay? So now you know you need to dress, but I want to help you on how can you dress better? Because the reality is none of us are born knowing how to dress right? There's trends all the time. There's fashion. There's all kind of, every year there's some new color that's in and stuff. There's a lot to keep up with and you have to learn it. It's not something you just find out. Okay. See, now that's different than what, the media and social media will try to tell you. They'll try to tell you that, case in point, look at any of these famous influencers, actresses, actors, athletes, whatever. They almost make it seem like I was just born this way and I just woke up and I look amazing like this. But that's not the truth, all right? They had to learn this, especially a lot of these, the more famous they get, usually the more money they have to do this. And what you don't understand is, especially these women, they have makeup artists, not just any makeup artists, some of the best makeup artists in the industry doing their makeup. You know what I'm saying? They know all the new trends. They know what works best for their skin color, and they know all the tricks from blending and et cetera, et cetera. And so when you see these pictures, or you see them on, on the camera, on a movie or whatever, all that has gone into making them look as amazing as they look. They have some of the best hairstylists doing their hair. They know exactly, again, what looks good for them. They have people who do nothing but, their fashion. That's all they do. They just think about fashion, clothes, and they know exactly what's going to look good. And they they help this celebrity or this influencer out. Like, and a lot of these people have some kind of fitness coaches or whatever, and they're helping them. Again, there's a lot of work that goes into it. All right. So again, it's not that you're ugly, you're just ignorant. There's just some things you don't know. There's things that other people are doing that you're just not doing. Okay. So we're talking about how you dress and your clothes. So let me help you out. Okay. This will help you out. This will bump you up 1 or 2 points right here. Just how you change how you dress. Okay. The first thing you need to understand, I'm going to break this down. There's a whole science about this, and you can search this. So ladies, they consider there's at least 5, and I would say 5 body styles, okay? 5 body types. There's the triangle, there's the rectangle, the apple, the pear, and the hourglass, okay? 5 different types. Then, of course, you add in, variations in height, like if you're tall or you're short, okay? Now, each shape has different styles, fits, and cuts that play to those strengths, right? What someone who is a triangle would wear is probably not the best thing for someone with a pear shape to wear. And what may look best on someone with a pear shape is probably not good on a rectangle, okay? What I want you to do after you get through listening to this podcast is I no longer want to see people just, wearing what they wore 5-10 years ago, or I don't want to see you just going in a store or just looking at a magazine, or I don't know, you're online or whatever, and you just say, oh, that looks good on her. I like those colors. I'm going to pick them. We're going to create a strategy, okay? We're going to create a strategy. But first, I have some homework for you, okay? You need to figure out your shape. You go online. I did this. I just did a quick search. That's how I found those different shapes. You find your shape. Figure out what you are. Now, don't just go by what you think and you think only. Again, on this journey, I recommend this for everybody. On this journey, as you're trying to find a husband, trying to find a wife, you should have 1, 2, maybe 3 close friends who care about you, okay? They care about you enough that if you think you're, shape A, they're gonna like with love tell you no, you're shape B, and they're gonna help you figure out what shape you are. They're gonna be able to tell you the things that may be difficult for you to hear, but the things that you need to know. You don't want to be the person who thinks that they can sing. They get up on one of these reality shows and embarrass themselves in front of everybody because none of their friends told them you can't sing. So first you got your shape now. Now you need to find the best fit in the styles for your shape, okay? Then you're going to find the colors that work best with your skin color, okay? So you can do quick, easy searches on that one and the styles and shapes. But the color, like on Instagram, I found this one lady, that's all she does is she posts talking about like color theory, I think is what it was. And it's just how certain colors complement certain skin tones better than others. So, if you're from Ireland, you're probably gonna wear something different from someone from Nigeria. It's just the physics of light and how we perceive colors. So find out which color fits best for your skin color. And then last but not least, this is something I did. Something I did when I was working out is you find a celebrity or some kind of, in this case, like a fashion influencer or someone who has a similar shape to you. And maybe you like the way they dress and you kind of wish you could dress like that. So find someone like that. And again, as Christians, again, be wise on how they're dressing, okay? Because how you dress communicates things, whether or not it should or shouldn't, it does communicate things, okay? So you want to make sure you're communicating the right messages to the right people. Okay, so that's your homework. Figure out your shape. Figure out the best fits and styles for that shape. Find the colors that work best for your skin color. Then find some celebrity or someone you can follow who has a similar shape, hopefully similar height. And then you can kind of learn some of what they're doing, right? You can get some of their outfits and whatnot, okay? So I want to give you an example of what you're going to do on this homework. Okay. This is how you study. And again, the whole point of this is so that you have a strategy. You're no longer just doing things randomly, or you're not doing things how you used to do it. If you have the strategy and you do the research, you'll have more confidence in the choices that you pick. And if you have more confidence in the choices that you pick, guess what? You're going to have more confidence in the fact that your outfits look good on you. Okay. And again, talk to these people who are going along on this journey with you, who can give you good advice. Okay. And tell you like, yeah, that actually looks good on you, okay. And that'll give you some more confidence, and that'll help with a strong first impression. So this is how I did the research. Okay. So this is how you can do it too. So I'm going to take as an example, pear shape. So I got online, and I found this on Stitch Fix. So what I did was I looked up pear shape, and so this is what they said. They said you want to wear clothes that elongate. Okay. You want to find shirts that draw the eye upward. Okay. Draws them upward. And that they highlight the waist, the back line. And by the back line, I just mean the back. So the waist, back, and neckline. Okay. And then you want to find fitted or structured tops. They'll give you definition around your narrow shoulders, and they'll draw attention to your narrow waist. So I want to point some things out here. Again, this is a strategy. We're not just doing things, ooh, that looks pretty. There's a strategy behind this. Okay. So here's the thing with pear shapes, you want to wear clothes that elongate the body. Okay. There's certain clothes that do that. I know that there's even, I'm not saying to do this, but I even know wearing vertical stripes gives the illusion of you being taller. So that's just an example of there's different things you can do with clothes to elongate. Okay. And then it says you want to find shirts that draw your eye upward and highlight the waist, back, and neckline. I even read further, they were saying like if you have a really nice necklace, that'll draw people's eyes to your neckline. So again, you're being strategic. Okay. And so what you're trying to do is maximize your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. So like when it says fitted or structured tops, give definitions. So, it gives definition to your narrow shoulders, but then it draws attention to your waist, which is one of your strengths. And again, elongating, and it wants to draw the eye around your waist and your back or your neckline. Again, that's what you want to do. You want to find clothes that play to your strengths. Okay. So that's the homework you're going to do. You're going to have a strategy. You're going to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Again, like I said, you will get more confidence just knowing that you're wearing something that looks good on you. And it won't just be your opinion, because you're going to let your 2 or 3, 1 or 2, whatever friends, they're going to agree with you, and you're going to know that they're telling you the truth. And then you're also going to have this is the fashion industry has broken this down to a science. So you're going to know that these are the best fits for your body. Okay. I guarantee that you will go up a few points just by changing how you dress. Okay. Being more specific on how you dress. Understanding that how you dress changes how people perceive you. Okay. So I'm just going to leave you with that. Make sure you learn your body type, learn what styles fit and cuts work best on you. Okay. Now, I've been saying this on this series. Of course, subscribe, and then, of course, give me a thumbs up. But what I really want to do is help other people. So I want you to really share this with someone who could use this information. Now, I don't think you could just say, hey, I've been looking at how you've been dressing lately, and you need to hear this guy because, yeah, you need help. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. Maybe you just tell the people hey, let's watch this together. Or, you know what? I found some, really interesting information. Did you know that there's 5 different body types and there's, all this stuff? Yeah. So just try to tread lightly when you do that. Don't just try to be polite when you do it. And don't just tell them, you're not ugly. You're just ignorant. You should probably have them watch this first and let them know that ignorant. I'm not saying you're dumb, but it's basically saying that there is hope. All right. You didn't get the short end of the stick when it comes to
genetic lottery, and so because you don't have, you know, X, Y, or Z, now you're just doomed to be overlooked by men for the rest of your life. Like, that's not it. I want you to have hope. Okay. So again, thank you for joining me. Subscribe, share with someone who you know this could help them. Okay. And I will talk to you later. You have a good one.